Good afternoon or morning or evening or whatever time it is when you're watching this. This is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World, here with my esteemed colleague, Mr. Jimmy Trammell, also of the Tulsa World, to let you know what's going on in the scene section of the Tulsa World, which is available both at your local newsstand and online, which we encourage you to subscribe to. Today we are going to cry havoc and let slip the dogs of the reservation, as this we're getting close to the premiere of Reservation Dogs, a new comedy series by Oklahoma filmmaker Sterlin Harjo that Jimmy and I have both had the privilege of writing about, although Jimmy has written more about it. And you were there for the gala premiere, I guess, that was Monday at the Circle Cinema.
It was really a neat thing. In advance, we should tell people that the series is going to premiere Monday, August the 9th on FX on Hulu. So that's where you can go to find it. But as I was there at this red carpet / green carpet event, you wondered, how many things like this actually happen in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I wasn't around for the Outsiders situation. I mean, I know they had something at the Warren or the big ice skating mall downtown. I forget the Williams
Center, yeah.
But it was just neat to be like, this is a moment in history, and you get to share in it a little bit. And maybe I got the feeling meeting some of these young actors in Reservation Dogs that it could have the Outsiders effect for some of those kids too, that they go on to really great careers. And this is the launching point. But you having seen some episodes in advance, and I having seen some episodes in advance, I think we're of the same opinion of this is really good, and I hope people sample this. Go ahead.
No, what I was going to say, it is, when I did my interview with Sterlin that ran last Sunday, one of the things he said was that he wanted to just drop people into this world. And for, I'm certain for a good portion of the people that are watching it, it's going to be familiar in many ways. While for others, it's going to be kind of a feeling quite, lost at sea. But you mentioned the young actors, and they are so very good, so very natural, that it doesn't take long for you to really know what's, get a sense of the relationships, kind of know what's going on. And while, as Sterlin said, this is a story that could only be set in Oklahoma, there is also, in a lot of ways, a kind of universal quality to it. It's not so specific that it might put people off, because it is very funny.
I guess I'm giving away my lead for my Sunday story, but as I watched it, the thought that just hit me right in the face was, I grew up with these guys. They nailed it. This could have been filmed in the town where I grew up. It was filmed in Okmulgee primarily, but I think people are going to have the same reaction all around. Like, I grew up with these guys exactly, and these actors nailed that. And I told them so on that red carpet event the other night.
And that probably meant more to them than than anything, because I'm sure that was a big concern of theirs. Like everybody was, how authentic an Oklahoman was Matt Damon in Stillwater. How do these people get small town Oklahoma? And of course they do, because as Sterlin said, this is based on him growing up in, I think he lived in Holdenville for a lot of his younger days. So it's definitely worth checking out. And I hope that, because FX on Hulu is strictly a streaming service, this is not going to be on the regular Fox network yet.
I believe that's correct.
So
did you get the idea that the two guys on the bicycles, Mike and Funny Bone, Little Mike and Funny Bone. To me, they were scene stealers every time they showed their bicycles.
Yeah, I almost, and I don't know if this was intentional, but I also got the feeling that they're sort of the trickster characters, that which is a very important figure in a lot of indigenous nations. I don't want to say folklore, but their mythology. It's often a rabbit, and these are kind of agile little people that keep you just zipping in and out. And I kind of get the feeling that may be the role that they play in this. But
they're described as the eyes and ears of the neighborhood, and I would say that exactly. Like,
oh yeah,
you hate to say they're gossip on wheels, but they kind of are.
the Gossip Guys. There you go. They'll have their own spinoff show pretty soon.
Okay, what else we got?
What else? Well, speaking of youngsters, Theater Tulsa is getting back on stage August 13th with Matilda the Musical. It's an adaptation of Roald Dahl's children's story about a 5-year-old genius taking on her evil schoolmaster, who, since this is the Olympics time, this makes sense, she was a hammer thrower. And that carries over to the way she deals with students. We will have an interview with the person who plays the evil schoolmistress, which is always played by a man in drag, and also with the director. They've been making this they've tried to create their own sort of quarantine bubble as much as possible, because they cast the show. They were going to premiere it in May of 2020, and they cast it in November of 2019 and began the early rehearsals in February, and then everything shut down. And one of the unfortunate thing is a lot of the young actors that were originally cast grew out of the roles they were going to have to play. They were physically or vocally altered, and so they had to recast a lot of it. The main adult leads, I think, for the most part, are what they originally did. But that will be the first. I think they'll be the first local theater show at the Tulsa PAC since March 13 of 2020, which was also a Theater Tulsa show. It was a little night music, and they did one performance and were shut down because of COVID. So it's live local theater at the PAC is coming back, and hopefully it will be able to. That variations don't take over and create more problems, but at the moment they're preparing for that. So what else we got coming up?
I should tell you that we are blessed with many great music venues in Tulsa, with the BOK, historic Kane's Ballroom, the Tulsa Theater, formerly the Brady Theater, are great casino venues, and others. But Kenny Loggins and Bill Champlin, who spent 28 years with Chicago, both Grammy winners, are coming to Tulsa to perform at a place that's not any of those venues. And let's just leave it as a tease, and you'll find out in Friday's Tulsa World exactly where those two guys are going to be doing shows, because it's not at any place now that's currently in operation as a venue, but they are coming to Tulsa to perform. So read that Friday.
All right, we will keep an eye on that. And if you are interested in eating, we have a review this week of Senor Pancho, which is a local. Do two links make a chain? But they have two locations. It's a locally owned restaurant. One is in Broken Arrow, one is in Catoosa. The menus are the same. It's familiar Tex-Mex, but it's done very well. The quality is good and definitely worth checking out. And coming up, we're going to deal with another chain restaurant. This one is quite a bit different. It is a Mediterranean, Middle Eastern food truck based out of Houston that is, Tulsa was going to be its second Oklahoma location. It's in the parking lot of a gas station at 31st and Memorial. Abu Omar Halal is the name of it, and we'll let you know what they have to offer in the coming days. I think that's about as far along as we've been able to work, as we've both been on vacation. If you missed us the past 2 weeks, please accept our apologies, but we both needed a break. So for Jimmy Trammell and myself, this is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World. We are signing off, and have a pleasant day.